Let's quickly talk about the Champions League games we'll start tonight. It's going to be a very quick discussion. Just give me a few minutes and we'll quickly run through them. So, as you all know it, as of the moment I'm recording this, we now know all the teams that qualified in the round of 16 of the Champions League. But we are going to focus on the four games that we are played tonight, starting from the early kickoff game between Barcelona and Newcastle. Did you see that coming? Did you see that heavy scoreline coming? I just don't believe it. It was hard to believe, especially when you judge the way Newcastle played last week against this same Barcelona. Yes, it is a fact that that game was a home game for Newcastle and they were very dominant in the game. They completely outplayed and outmuzzled Barcelona because that was a very physical game. They came with so much physicality in the game, it was not even funny at all. That was what you saw in the game. But today, nah, Barcelona was running riot on them. They were so ruthless. They told them that you are in my own home and we are going to show you how we do it in Barcelona. And by the end of the day, what started off as a very leveled playing ground for both sides turned into a complete humiliation for Newcastle. Yes, the game ended 7-2 in favor of Barcelona. 7 goals. That was what they considered tonight. 7 against Barcelona. And I mean, earlier when this was first announced, if this was the first game for both of them, you wouldn't be surprised to see this scoreline. But after the type of performance we saw from Newcastle last week, they completely got it wrong today. So this scoreline 7-2, it is one of the most embarrassing scoreline. But if we are talking about embarrassing scorelines, you surely don't leave out Bayern Munich because Bayern in this Champions League, they are not smiling, they are not messing around, they are not even joking. Bayern Munich in the Champions League this season, they are ready for the taking and they don't take no for an answer. Now, bear in mind, tonight they played the second leg of their fixture against Atlanta. Yes, Atlanta. And this is a game where, in fact, before going into this game, it was obvious that Bayern Munich has already qualified. It was obvious before going into this game, they've already sealed their qualification. You want to know why? Because in the first leg of the game, Bayern Munich were able to score 6. The first leg ended 6-1 in favor of Bayern Munich. 6-1. So, going into the second leg of the game, I was already sure. I was sure that, no, this job is done here. I was very sure that Bayern Munich already did the job. But when the game started, it was just too much for Atlanta to deal with. And that is how the game ended up. The second leg of the game, Bayern Munich were still able to score 4 goals against Atlanta. Of course, Atlanta also got their one. I mean, consolation goals are allowed. And by the end of the day, the aggregate scoreline is 10-10 for Bayern Munich, 2 for Atlanta. I mean, this is a very tough and a sad way to be knocked out of the Champions League. And the next game that we are going to look into is the game between Tottenham Hotspur and Atletico Madrid. I mean, going into this particular game, you know how it's happened for them previous week. Last week, it was a complete humiliation for Tottenham Hotspur because they considered 5 goals against Atletico Madrid. They considered 5, they were able to score 2. So, sense of scale in the game because Tottenham currently fighting relegation. People are saying sack the manager. Tottenham is also one of the worst team in the Premier League this year. So with all that in play, you just knew that their chances of getting a result, their chances of getting a job done against Atletico Madrid was very low. Nonetheless, they gave a good fight. They fought really hard and by the end of the day, they were able to get the win. Yes, big congratulations to Tottenham Hotspur for that. I don't think many people gave them the chance or expected them to get the win here, but they were able to get the win. But bear in mind, despite the fact that they got the win, the game ended 3-2 for them today. But it is still not enough for them to seal a qualification for the next round of the competition, because, as you already know, they came into the game with 3 goals disadvantage. So on aggregate, this is a 5-7 scoreline in favor of Atletico Madrid. So they move on to the next round of the competition, while Tottenham Hotspur gets knocked out. And now to the final game of the day. That's the game between Liverpool and Galatasaray. So the game between Liverpool and Galatasaray is the last game that we'll be talking about today. Yeah, welcome on board. It's good. Yeah, thanks for being a sub. Thanks for joining us. We actually talk about football here. Nice. Thank you. I appreciate it. Are you a football fan? Because if you are a football interesting. If you're a football fan, I'm very sure you enjoyed the games you saw in the Champions League, which this midweek. In fact, which team do you support? Which team do you support? Because it felt good to watch my own team play today, and I support Liverpool, and we had a very amazing game against Galatasaray today. So Liverpool had an interesting, a fabulous, and an amazing game against Galatasaray. I don't think many people gave Liverpool a chance to get a result against Galatasaray, and you won't blame anyone, because Liverpool have not been performing this season. Liverpool have been having very poor performance, but if you are a football fan, you are a fan forever. In good times, in bad times, in moments when things are going well, and even in situations where things are just not going well, you always step up to support your club, and that is the thing we can do best as Liverpool fans. But tonight, it's paid off. It really paid off, because the boys had an amazing display. They had an amazing performance. Any Liverpool fan that was watching the game would surely enjoy it, because everything you want to see in a game, everything you want to see, everything you want to enjoy in a game, the tackles. I mean, when it comes to tackles, just leave it for Milos Kekes. Milos Kekes at the back line was making very serious and ridiculously good tackles. And at some point, I was like, yo, with how aggressive this guy is, Kekes, with how aggressive he is, with how he doesn't hold back to charge into attack. If he was a defensive midfielder, playing in the midfield for Liverpool, man, he would have just nailed it. He would have just nailed it, because someone of that character is exactly who we need on the squad. That's exactly who we need in the squad. But no worries about that. No worries, because we were still able to get the win, get all 3 points. And getting the win here simply means that the next round of the Champions League is going to be a very interesting game between Liverpool and PSG, Paris Saint-Germain. You know there is a history there. You know there is a very recent history between Liverpool and PSG, which we just saw last year. Around this time last year, PSG knocked Liverpool out of the competition, and since then till this very moment, Arne Slot still can't help himself. He doesn't waste any opportunity he gets to talk about PSG. But I mean, his wishes are finally coming to pass, because Liverpool will finally have to face PSG in the next round of the competition. And in that game, I'm not currently, with what I've seen from Liverpool, apart from the game we played tonight, I'm not very confident in Liverpool smashing the results. I'm not confident in Liverpool smashing it against PSG. I mean, Jake, you are welcome on board. Hi. I'm not very confident in Liverpool's chances of smashing it, but I'm ready to give us a try. I'm ready to see what we can achieve, and I look forward to how that game with PSG is going to be. But before we get ahead of ourselves, this night is for celebration of people that were able to get to the next round of the tournament. The PSGs, the Barcelonas, the Atletico Madrid, the Real Madrid, the Arsenals, all of them that made it to the next round are welcome. The big congratulations to them. We look forward to what they will offer in the next round of the competition. So yeah, feel free to hop out at any moment that is okay for you. Okay, Jake, hopefully you will be here with us in next time we'll be doing this. And I'm actually wrapping up already. I'm about to wrap up. So uh so happy, so happy to see Liverpool's performance tonight, and I genuinely look forward to what comes next for Liverpool. I look forward to how we would be performing this weekend in the Premier League, because the performance we saw tonight, we should be smashing teams if we play like this every game week. So the one question I have is, why haven't we been performing like this? But let's just see how it's going to be this weekend. So with this, I think we've come to the end of this stream. I promised it was never going to be a long stream, and currently just about 11 minutes on the clock. We are coming to the end of it. So for anyone that is just coming across the channel for the very first time, I talk about football. I talk about football, and we go into all areas of football: club football, country football. So if you're a sports fan, if you're a big fan of football, come and be part of the community. Connect with the channel, leave your comments here and there, watch our videos. I have live streams, I have normal long form videos, and I also have videos uploaded on shorts. And with that, we come to the end of this stream. Let's let's go and enjoy this win. Goodbye.